Halifax first-time buyers. I need to tell you something most people don't hear until it's far too late. Saving for your down payment to purchase your first home is only half the journey. Pay attention. You want to know the real financial shock? It comes from the hidden costs that no one teaches you about. The ones you only learn when your property lawyer emails you the final closing statements. And in a blink of an eye, you could possibly owe thousands more dollars than what you expected. My name is Logan Tomczyk. I'm your real-life realtor here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And today I'm breaking down the real costs of buying a home in 2026. With hidden fees, we're going to be going over those pesky costs that you must know and account for before you even start booking a showing and seeing what's out there for you and your family. By the end of this video, you'll understand every major cost, how to budget for them, and how to avoid the mistakes that catch so many first-time home buyers by surprise. Most people assume buying a home means that you're just saving for your down payment, and that's it. That's the big hurdle everyone needs to account for. But there's more than just the down payment. There are several additional costs that you need to be prepared for outside of your down payment, and you must pay these in order to actually close the deal and receive the keys of your future home. If you don't budget for these upfront costs, then you're setting yourself up for stress, delays, and you could even potentially lose the home that you fell in love with. Not to mention, you might also lose your deposit too. I was talking with one of my friends recently, and they want to buy their first home. They've been saving for years. They felt prepared until I mentioned these closing costs. Immediately, their eyes went wide. They said, "What do you mean? I thought all I needed was the down payment." And that is right. There is the problem that most people know that there are these extra costs coming up, but they don't know what they are or how quickly these costs can add up. They also might not know exactly how much each of these additional projects cost. By the end of our chat, they realized that they were missing thousands of dollars in their budget. I don't blame them. Nobody explains this stuff in school, and to be honest, for my first deal all the way back in 2020, I didn't have a full grasp of the exact costs that my client would be responsible for. Now, luckily for me, my first client was my mom, so I did have a little bit of slack coming my way, but the majority of realtors won't be given any grace period when it comes to their clients' finances. Especially when prices are just so high, you as the buyer want to know exactly what to expect and what to prepare for. That's why we're doing this video today. It's all about the standard costs and what to expect during the home buying process. So let's start with one that everybody pays for, and that's the legal fees. Your lawyer does a lot more than what people realize. They handle the closing registration, the deed transfers, the changing of any titles. They're communicating with the seller's lawyer, and most importantly, they're making sure you're legally protected. Now, the lawyer's fee is just one part, but it's their job to make sure that you're not only properly represented, but also protected. They'll be doing a deep dive into the property, so we'll know everything from a legal standpoint on how good the home is. One or more common experiences I find is that our lawyer finds out that the home has restrictive covenants that are associated with the property, and that might change our what we want to do and what we plan for with the home. Some of the other things that the lawyers will be taking care of are, again, the title insurance, any government registration fees, title searches, courier fees, and other administrative items. Many first-time buyers hear the fee number and think that that's the entire bill, but I always tell my clients to prepare about $1,000 to $1,500 for legal fees alone. And don't forget that these costs will also need to account for HST and appropriate taxes with them. The next one is an absolute non-negotiable that I always tell my clients to prepare for, and that's the home inspection. Now, these can vary in costs, but your typical home inspection is going to be about $600 plus HST. It's easy for buyers to see this as an optional cost, but trust me, This is one of the more important investments you'll ever make. I always tell my clients to spend the $600, and that can save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by either walking away from the deal or finding something that we can negotiate later. A great home inspector will cover the structural issues, electrical problems, plumbing concerns, roofing issues, any moisture or foundation problems, and again, thousands of dollars in repairs that you might not have spotted on your own is great to know about when you're buying something so expensive for yourself and your family. Now, I'm not saying that the sellers will budge on their price for small projects like maybe replacing a sink, for example. But if you have something bigger like weak support beams or a roof replacement, something like that might be opening up the door for more negotiation and maybe even a price reduction. Again, nothing's guaranteed, but opening the door never hurts for any buyers. And again, you could be saving some money by knowing these risks ahead of time. And if these projects are too big, you can easily use your inspection to walk away from the deal and get your down payment deposit back. So yes, it's a cost, but it could save a lot of money. And if everything's fine with the inspection, you can confidently move forward with the purchase of the property. For one of the third expenses, let's talk about the tax adjustments. That surprises people the most, I find. Here's how it works. If the seller has prepaid their property taxes for a year and you choose halfway through the year that you're gonna buy their property, you must reimburse them for the unused portion of these taxes. So for example, again, they pay their taxes full in April. You take possession of the home in October, you owe them back the remaining months that they've already paid for. The amount can range from a few $100s to a few $1,000 based on the property taxes associated with the home, and it's not really viewed as a penalty, just as a part of the transaction of ownership. But it's a cost that many buyers don't see coming too often. I won't spend too much time on this next cost, but it's important to understand properly. Nova Scotia has a deed transfer tax, and for many buyers in HRM, it's typically around 1.5% of the purchase price of the property. But, and this is key, the exact amount can vary depending on your situation. So before we even start looking at homes together, I'm gonna connect you with my go-to property lawyers so we know exactly what category we fall under and what we should expect for the deed transfer tax costs. So that way we have no surprises and no guessing on closing day. The majority of the costs for buying a home does in fact come from the deed transfer tax. And again, I want to mention this, that our property lawyer will make sure that we know exactly what to expect going into everything. So the bottom line is, when you're buying a home in Halifax, there are some hidden fees more than just the down payment, and these costs can add up. Legal fees, inspections, tax adjustments, deed transfer. There could also be additional expenses as well that are maybe a little bit more smaller, but knowing these expenses gives you power to plan, power to budget, and it takes away any type of hidden expectations so we can move forward with confidence. Most of the services discussed above also have additional services to give you even more peace of mind. So for example, the home inspection might want to do a water and well inspection as well. Your mortgage broker might need a home appraisal done for the property. You might be buying a condo where there are more legal condo documents for your lawyer to review. With the deed transfer tax being so high, I always advise my clients to prepare for 2 to 2.5% plus HST of the purchase price of the home so we can then move forward with confidence with our pricing and know what to expect. If you want the full breakdown of the home buying process, I've put together a free home buyer's guide that walks you through every step that you need to know. All you need to do is comment "buy" below and I'll send you this guide directly to you. And if you're getting ready to start your home search, I'm here to help. I'm your real-life realtor and I want to make your realty dreams happen.